stocky, over bulky,
kinda hulky superhero.
a two-fisted and electrically transistored superhero, an exotically neurotic
And aquatic superhero.
The Marvel superheroes have arrived. Superpowered from the forehead to the toes. Watch them change their very shape before your nose. See arcane striking superhero change to Viking superhero. A humdinging, real swinging, shield flinging superhero. They're the latest, they're the greatest, ultimatest superheroes. The Marvel superheroes have arrived.
Woo! Okay, we're here, guys. I've got my comic.
After all
books.
that, these better all be Marvel books then.
Exactly. No, actually, I think there's a DC book in there. I got my wine. I got my buddies. I got my Automatic Comics, Ryan. I got Newbie, Joel, and Jake, Mr. Omega Red. Even though I want to call you Omega Reed.
You can pronounce it however you want. Whatever.
I know he gave me
I've
crap
gotten
when I
over
said Omega Reed on one of my videos. He's like, it's Omega Red.
Everybody has said Omega Reed. I can't worry about it anymore. Oh well. I thought it was a clever name when I came up with it.
It is a clever name. I think it's great. It's funny, guys, because just before we start this, you guys all kind of told me that you haven't seen Loki yet. And it's killing me because all I want to do is talk about it.
I've seen it.
Oh, you have?
Yeah,
okay, we can't talk
haven't.
about it because these two guys.
Well, ironically enough, Chris, like I said to you yesterday when you were on my show, I had to work early this morning at 6 a.m., so I had to get up. But the way it worked was my body was like, hey, man, you need to take a piss right now. It's 4 o'clock, wake up. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I should probably watch it right now. And that's what I did. So
it was well worth it, wasn't it?
Yeah. Oh, dude. Honestly, I was just like I was watching it like with a blanket. It's dark, and I'm like,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All I'll say is this: it's nice to see a show that really does feel like it's part of the MCU deeply, like it's setting up things for the future that really do seem relevant. Whereas the other shows,
Feige said that he had said that it was going to be like the most relevant.
Show.
The most impactful show.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a lot of and when I was trying to describe it to somebody, I was like, man, you got to really pay attention to the dialogue. And somebody was like, well, yeah, duh. And I go, no, because like it's literally like all dialogue. Like there's not a lot of action. It's like you really have to pay attention to what they're saying, and that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. So.
It's more. There's a lot of Easter eggs in it. Is that what you're saying?
Not Easter egg.
He's flat out like boom. Like,
nice.
You basically get some of the questions that like before the show you were like, man, how did we get to this point? And it was like, oh shit.
Like,
okay.
Oh, this is how the next 5 years is gonna go.
Yeah.
Type stuff. It's big. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
There was something about this series compared to the others that I feel like this series had more of the star power. I mean, maybe it's just Owen Wilson. You put him and Tom Hiddleston like. The other characters,
you're getting someone new too. I think that's probably part of it with Owen Wilson.
Fair.
Like it's like a new actor you're not used to seeing in other movies.
Yeah, but you guys haven't seen it yet, so you guys don't know that like Gambit shows up and Wolverine.
Yeah, they're awesome too. And there's a whole multiverse angle.
Channing Tatum finally gets the role.
Jake was telling me he's like Omega he's like Omega Red showed up and
Mephisto. It's all Mephisto.
And
I think I made a joke to you this morning. What did I can't remember what it was. Yeah, Omega Red showed up with gosh dang it, who did I say? No, I can't remember.
It was Mephisto and
Mephisto with Kang and Omega Red and essentially
I've seen enough on Instagram to know some things, but you just can't hide from it.
Possible.
You know what's
if you've been reading the tea leaves, You know
what's really disappointing? Well, not disappointing because if you pay your taxes, you're entitled to your opinion. But there was a lot of people like. I know
Sorry, just a sec, newbie. Hey, Alan, don't no spoilers because you guys haven't seen it. Okay, thanks.
The one thing that I was a little bit disappointed in was people were saying it was boring. They're like, oh man, it was so boring. Oh, the last 10 minutes of that was, and I was just like, really? Like,
I didn't think so at all. Man.
I didn't think so either.
I will say, as a whole, I think Loki was the closest to what I want from the MCU. Going forward, like with the shows that we've seen so far. So I was quite happy with everything. Yeah. I actually am going to watch the whole thing as a whole because I apparently have too much time on my hands.
That's what I said to you. Yeah, I said that yesterday.
Yeah. For sure, yeah. But what's next? It's What If, right? Is next?
Yeah, August 11th. So we got like what 4 weeks of nothing again. So
I have to say, it seems like a filler thing, but it doesn't at all. When I saw the trailer, it looks really good.
My only problem with What If is like, so I'm a big anime fan, and it's like they took the crappiest animation style and turned it into that show. It's like it's the cheap animation that they use on like as like for like filler on other animes is what they did for that show. And so that's my biggest issue. I don't like the animation, but I'm sure I'll still watch it, you know. But
does anybody else get the the feeling for like the Bad Batch? Like I feel like it's some of the anime or the animation you see on some of the Star Wars stuff that Disney's been doing.
CG'd. Like that's really, it's really CG'd. And
it's like kind of that rotoscope thing too, where I think they're actually filming actors and they kind of rotoscope over top of it. It has that look to it.
I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, and I know people will probably, watching or whatever. But somebody at work actually put on the Bad Batch yesterday, and I was watching. I was like, man, this is bad. Like I didn't really like it. Yeah, I was like,
I haven't seen it.
I know a lot of people that really like it. I haven't seen that one yet, but
again, I'm not a Star Wars guy, so don't.
We still have Hawkeye and Miss Marvel this year. Wes Thompson was saying, it's
oh really? Miss Marvel is
cool.
This year. I know Hawkeye. I mean, I heard that Hawkeye would be this year.
Wait,
it sounds like they're going to have a show going at all times.
Miss Marvel's not for like 2 or 3 years. I thought like that's the
they were already filming
it right now.
But but the Marvels isn't for. That's one of the later.
That's.
Oh no, you think of the movie? That's Marvels.
Okay.
That's like next year.
You're thinking
Miss
the
Marvel's
the
TV series. Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, yeah, with Kamala Khan.
Yeah, she's like an Inhuman.
The Hawkeye is going to be a show, right? But like when that's slated for this year?
Yeah.
So that's going to be with without spoiling Black Widow, but that's going to be because it happened to Black Widow. So yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what happens there.
As do I.
Yeah, I think it plays into a little bit of playing off of the ending of Black Widow. With no spoilers, and then also playing off of the ending of Falcon and Winter Soldier a little bit. I think Hawkeye is going to pick up after both of those, where I feel like not knowing exactly what I've seen enough spoilers sort of for the Loki, that Loki is moving much towards like Wanda and Loki. Those shows go this direction, and Falcon, Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, and Black Widow are going this direction, and maybe they'll converge later.
I thought everybody was thinking, because this is the way I was thinking, was there was going to always be those two entities, right? There was going to be the battles happening cosmically and like in magic, whatever, and then there's also going to be the street level ones that kind of just tie in with each other, right? So
what it sounds like, there's going to be like 5 or 6 different worlds like that. Like
spaces,
if you're into kung fu movies, we got the Shang-Chi universe. If you're into and Excalibur could be fantasy based if they go down that path. There's so many different angles. And
are they going to go down that? Have they said anything about that?
They've been talking about it.
They've been talking about it. Yeah.
That's where
Fire Excalibur number ones.
The what's it called? The What If didn't really happen because Peggy's got that sword, and everybody went crazy once that trailer dropped. Right? They were saying, "Oh my God, that's Excalibur," and then, everybody went nuts. So,
is that what they said? That she had the Excalibur? Oh, I didn't know. You're breaking up a bit.
You're freezing, newbie.
Yeah, newbie, you're freezing up on me.
Sorry.
Goddamn Canadian internet. Oh, wait a minute, I'm in Canada too.
Yeah, damn England.
Behind the Diamond Cards is asking, will you guys be at Terrificon? Unfortunately, no. I would die to go. Otto and the boys wanted Joel and I to go.
That's a long drive for me.
Yeah, is it a long drive? Well, it's like a 5 or 6 day drive for me. So
I actually don't even know where it's at. I'm sorry.
It's in New Hartford. Is that where it is?
Yeah, it's in Connecticut, I believe.
That's
6 hours from me. It's 6 hours, but with the border, it's not easy to get over right now. So.
Don't you have to fly there and then drive home or something like that to get across the border?
Yeah, but I fear going to that because I think Everett, Otto, and Roger and all those guys would drink me to death. It would be one of those weekends where I may not come home. You too, Joel. If you join us, you're screwed.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah, it'll be awesome though. It's a good way to go. Comics and death. Yeah, it's awesome. Well, anyway, hey, anyone pick up any books this week?
The new poll.
Books.
New books? What are you grabbing?
Yeah. Let's see. What was this week? I picked up Bad Idea books that I hadn't picked up yet. So Sleigh Bells, The Lot, and I still hadn't picked up my ENIAC 4, which I'm actually excited to read.
Nice.
So I'm trying to think.
They're over now, aren't they? The Bad.
I don't know what they're doing.
I think they're changing it to Good Idea.
It's going to come back as Good Idea or something like that.
That sounds like an even badder idea. I don't know. I will say as a reader, they make it really hard to like them from a company standpoint. Like it's just they're just I don't know. They seem
I don't like how they do business.
But the content I do enjoy. I have been enjoying reading the content, and that's I don't know. I guess half the battle. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Yeah, it's been fun to read, and they've been doing some interesting stuff that I think pushes some of the boundaries that I haven't seen some of the other publishers doing. So
from Behind the Diamond, I bought an X-Men 244 maybe like 2 weeks ago. So yes,
I agree. I just bought one too. So I have a few. I think it's still reasonably priced, especially if you buy it raw. Did you buy yours graded? Right?
Which book?
Yeah, I bought 9.8. That's what I always do.
Yeah. You're a monster. You know me. I'm still cheap, so I buy raw and I get them graded.
Wait, sorry, which book, guys?
244.
First Jubilee.
Oh yeah.
I think all those books are still undervalued, quite frankly. There was such a big deal when we were kids, and I don't know. I picked up a few books too this week, and I'd like to show them. I picked up Moon Knight #1.
Oh,
but
nice newsstand.
It's a newsstand too, but the only problem is it has like ink transfer on the front cover, just like a little bit right here, which kind of pisses me off. I don't know if anyone knows how to get rid of that. Please call me. But it is bone mint, like as mint as it gets. And then I picked up Newbie and I have been talking about this book. It is the first it's Monica Rambeau Spectrum. So I was able to buy a bunch from a local place. They were cheap. So I'm a big fan of deals. And then what else did I get here?
As we all are.
A couple of Moon Knight #1s from that series.
Oh, nice.
Again, they were really cheap. More Moon Knight keys. I think, by the way, guys, I think this is an undervalued book. First Morpheus. Moon Knight has very few keys. Yeah. And you know, these keys they have are like they're great.
That one has gotten really expensive. That black cover.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping to get about 9.6 out of this one. It has one color break, but otherwise it's beautiful. But I picked that up, and I've been grabbing these too. These Darkhawk, just mild Darkhawk keys. They're like a 50 cent. They're giving them away. So I picked these up whenever I got a chance. Just put them away. Also got another Darkhawk #1.
The last issue, I think is it 50 or 54 or something like that.
I forget which one.
That one is worth quite a bit.
It is. It really is, because I don't think they
G.I. Joe stuff, like you've talked about, like those last issues, they can command a lot.
Oh yeah, like Moon Knight. The last issue of Moon Knight's worth quite a bit too. And this is a book I'm a huge fan of. First for Anki. I just sent a bunch to CGC, but this book's on fire right now.
Yeah,
like if you even 9.6s are going for big money. So
everybody thinks Daenerys might be playing her.
I don't know. I think she is. I feel like she is. So I mean, hey man, I love the spec on it. I love the idea of it. Oh yeah, and I got Newbie will love this one.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, I should probably add that one in too.
Yeah, you did. Well, that's too rich for my blood now, dude. I saw the prices of those things right now.
Was it what it was $140?
Somebody was telling me, they're like, "Hey, noob, you might want to stop telling people you can find that book for like $1 to $2." And I go, "What do you mean? I got 10 copies." And he's like, "Yeah, go look." And he sent me a picture of like eBay, how they're like $40 to $50. I'm like, Jesus, man! Like,
yeah, the raw ones they go for a few bucks now.
Insane, man! Insane.
Well, hey, the reason why we're here is Daddy just got some CGC books in, and I got 100 books, but we're not going to do all of them tonight because
5 hour long video.
It'd be 5 hour long, yeah. And I don't have enough wine for that, and But on top of it, I'm going to spread this out over a few videos, and I'm sure some of you guys will be coming back for it. But we're just going to do like 15 or 20 tonight, which is a lot already. So at each book, we'll just pull them out. We'll take a look, and we'll have a chat about it, what we all think about it. So, and I'm going to start now. Is everyone ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Okay, my first book.
Do we have to call you Daddy, or can we still call you?
I'm not doing that.
I would recommend Daddy, actually. It's the preferable name. I've got a X-Men 28.
Oh,
Yeah, and
Nice.
someone in the chat just said they picked up a 28. So
Oh, look at that. Behind the diamond cards has good taste, apparently.
yeah,
So I got it to 5.5. It's a beautifully presented copy. A lot of these books I bought or sent in on this batch were like kind of they weren't like 9.8 pre-screens, or they were kind of like the lesser books of stuff from the past, and I'd just rather have them graded because they can either sell. Well, I'm going to sell about half of them, but or just keep them. And I just love a good graded book. But anyway, this is the first appearance of Banshee, and I think this is a somewhat overlooked book. You can still pick this up fairly reasonably, and there's only upside on a book like this, in my opinion. Silver Age X-Men Key.
yeah.
Boom.
It's always surprising how affordable that book is. There's certain books like which one is it? Is it 16? Is it 16 or 16? The first Master Mold. Like I don't know why that book is so cheap all the time. Like it seems like it should be really expensive, and it never is.
Oh, wait till the Master Mold has his own series on Disney Plus. Yeah.
It's gonna be expensive.
Okay, my next book. This is a book that I think everyone loves. It's Wolverine Limited Series #1 in a 9.6.
Nice.
Never heard of him.
nice.
No, I know it's kind of a nothing thing. It's a Frank Miller cover. When I was a kid, and it's got Megaforce on the back. Deeds, not words, gentlemen. Deeds, not words. Have you guys ever seen Megaforce?
No.
A-list, character
It's
books here or
crazy.
what?
What's that?
Are you gonna have any A-list character books here or what?
No, it's all garbage. It's all like C tier shit. But anyway, big fan of this
That's what I
book.
expect.
But it's funny. But I've just been trying to grab all the Wolverine keys, and it seems like this one's starting to get pretty pricey these days. I didn't even know the value of it until I looked it up when I got it. So I don't really have a lot.
9.8s are like at 1,000, give or take.
Yeah.
I think the problem with well, it's not a problem, but like with Wolverine, with it being like, you have obviously your Hulk 181, Hulk 180, you got your Wolverine one, both series, then you have, Marvel Presents 72. All those 9.8s are already reaching that $1,000 mark that now people are like, all right, well, maybe I'll go 9.6, right? It's getting to that point that 9.8s in any of the books are just getting like ridiculously out of hand. So
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I would like this book at a 9.8 though, so I'm actually actively going to go buy a 9.8 because I can't seem to find a raw one.
Yeah,
So,
Auto
were you
submitted
hoping
like
for a 9.8 on
30
that?
of them.
Was
It
that-
seemed like.
no, I thought I was going to get a 9.4 on this, which I was going to be content.
Okay.
I was content with. Most of these books were bought like over the last 6 or 7 years. Like they were low price, like before the big COVID bubble and everything. So like a lot of these are dollar bin books from years ago. So I'm pretty lucky with this. The Wolverine wasn't. It was probably, I think I got it for $15 like 4 years ago. So yeah, it's all good, man. So I think they're $400 now at this. So, but yeah, I'm gonna sell this.
Yeah,
and
I
it'll
would say
towards
pretty
the
close
9.8.
to that, if at least for a 9.6.
It's in that ballpark, isn't it? Right? Yeah. But the next book is an interesting one. I think this is a book that is oddly hard to get in anything over an 8.0. I've found. I've been looking for this book over and over and over again. I do have a 9.8 on this, but I'm grading my non-9.8s, and it's Daredevil 150. First Paladin. Yes. There's been a lot of rumors, like Mikey Sutton rumors, that Paladin's going to be a part of one of the MCU shows. If that's true or not, yay. But one thing I did discover with that news was that this isn't an easy book to get in a high
I've
grade.
never seen that book.
It's impossible to find because it's never in the back issue bins. And if it is, it's beaten to shit. So it's got a dark cover. I've just been having a very difficult time finding high grades. I have a couple more going to CGC, but they're all going to be 9.4s, like in this category at best. But thank God I have a 9.8 already.
It's
But
like,
anyway,
is he wearing like a catcher's,
He's
like gear or something? Like that's what it looks like to me. It's like he's like, this is what I'm putting on. It's like classic Daredevil villain.
yeah, I guess so, right? Anyway, I if you guys see this book at a high grade, just buy it. Like they go cheap raw, but once you get them graded, they actually go for like I think this is a $1,200 book at 9.8.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, like and no one really pays attention to it.
You said 198? 198?
Sorry, 150.
Oh, jeez, I was way off.
Yeah, what the hell, Jake?
I didn't. Everybody's talking over one another. I just no. My LCS literally just picked up a giant Daredevil collection that, like, I was browsing through, but I will fully admit I'm not the biggest Daredevil fan. I usually will get more excited about X-Men or Spider-Man.
There's some,
the regular.
Seriously, there's some keys in there. There's some keys in there.
Keys are sparse though in Daredevil. I mean,
that's the problem. You end up going through and you're looking at.
But keep in mind, there's a Daredevil. They're bringing Daredevil back. It's been confirmed. Yep. He's probably going to either get a Disney Plus show or his own movie at some point. There is sparse keys, but they're cheap still, except for maybe the first Bullseye. Even that's not expensive, really.
Electra and Bullseye, I think, are decent price. You're looking at about 600, 700.
But there's characters like the Jester, who's awesome, and like there's a lot of little characters you could pick. Like you can get raw copies of these books for $20-$30. There's a lot of upside there.
To play the Matador.
Oh, dang it. I was literally just about to drop a Matador joke.
Is the Jester the one that's on ASM 16 on that cover that he's like, it's either like, or is it the Ringmaster? It's like they're all so stupid.
Yeah, they're pretty dumb. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that statement.
Purple Man. What's the really tall?
Go knock the owl.
Stiltman.
I love that cover. That cover is amazing. Have you looked at the cover? It's beautifully done.
Oh yeah, I love the
cover. Doctor.
Fuck you guys.
The mask.
Yeah. I know there's a Stiltman at my LCS right now. I know there is because I remember seeing it going, Stiltman. God, they have the worst villains in Daredevil.
Hey, when I get rich off Stiltman and a Jester and Owl, I'm just going to laugh at you small people.
You're going to look down at us from your stilts.
The creepy thing is I really do have a lot of copies of all those. Like I've just been buying them like whenever I see them. So because they are super cheap, but I have a mental disorder. So that's all there is to it. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next book. So this is an X-Men 166. It's the first Lockheed, which we all will remember as a really lame X-Men pet. But I thought this was actually going to be a 9.8, and it came back at 9.6. And I don't know. I'm not super happy about it. So this book exists in my collection now. So I'll probably do it as
one of the for sale books.
Oh, for sure. No, this is for sure.
It goes in that pile.
You're not going to win them all. Actually, oddly enough, I just sold this book coming up. This is first appearance of Rogue in the X-Men, and it's X-Men 158. Oddly hard to get in a 9.8. I do have a 9.8 already, but these always come pretty battered up, I find. Dark cover doesn't help it. So, and it's a good solid X-Men key. If you're a Rogue fan, it's a great X-Men key, really.
I think that one and 161 are like two of the most undervalued X-Men books.
What you're talking Magneto's origin?
Yeah,
I got a couple of those at CGC right now. I like that book.
I mean,
too.
with how Wolverine's origin exploded, I mean, you'd think it's going to happen with Magneto's as well.
Yeah, totally. My next book is a book I've shown here a lot because I keep sending more copies in because I bought way too many. Well, no, there's never too many of this book. But
Sinister.
Mr. Sinister's first appearance. I got a 9.6. I was actually expecting a 9.4, so I'm pretty happy about this. And I've just been holding these long term. Pretty happy about keeping it. Oddly enough, the reason I thought it was going to be 9.4 because it has a little tiny stain on the back. But it's quite a beautiful book otherwise. And it's just a direct copy. It's not. I have a newsstand 9.8 as well, and I'm quite happy about that. But I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I probably should be selling this book more, but because I own a bunch. But I think this book's overrated, personally. A little overrated. Yeah. I think people
who owns 10 of them.
Yeah, you're really selling it, eh? Like,
Well, I don't have to sell to you.
It's overrated.
Well, it is. I think it is.
It's gone up a lot in the last
crazy
year.
expensive. Yeah, it's really expensive, and they do 9/8. I think are close to $1,000, or is it close?
Gosh,
Is it? Well, maybe Canadian, but
not you. I think US is probably like, I think it's like 600 or 700 maybe. I
It's
don't
come
know
back down a little bit.
has it? Okay, so but I don't know. It seems for like a fairly second tier villain, it's pretty expensive. But hey, it's a cool villain, so you never know. And I keep forgetting, like I'm old, so like I bought this off the shelf. So like to me, this isn't old to me in my head because I'm crazy. So like it seems crazy but it really is old. It's really fucking old.
That's like when you were referencing the thing on the back of Wolverine 1. I was like, I'm pretty sure I was maybe not born.
Yeah, 1982, man. Yeah, I saw Megaforce in the theater. That's how old I am. Okay, so I usually do Marvel books, but this time I'm going to do a DC book.
All right, later, guys.
Yeah, see ya. So it's Brave and the Bold 34. It's the first appearance of Hawkman and Hawkgirl. This isn't a super easy book to get. This book, I wasn't sure if I was going to send it in, but it has a detached cover. But I still ended up getting a 3.0
with a 3.0.
Wow.
The max you can get is a 4, so it means the book is pretty nice in general.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty nice. It's not. I mean, hey, it presents really well. But if it was attached, it'd probably be in the 5, 5, 6 range, maybe higher. But I'm pretty happy with it. I'm a big fan of the old Hawkman. I think he seems like a character they could really redo today and make him cool.
Well, I thought I'd heard. Aren't they bringing him back? I thought they were.
Black Adam. He's going to be in Black Adam.
Black Adam.
Yeah.
So I'm really curious about how that pans out.
Do they? So wait. So with detached covers, the max you can get is a 4 blue label, though.
4 blue label.
That was you weren't going to get blue.
Oh no, 4 blue label will be.
Yeah. I never knew that. It's good to know.
Is that completely detached, or like is that
completely?
I think it's completely detached. Yeah.
One staple is like a 6, I think. And this is all like so. So I use. I always use ETA Nick, like he's got all his grading videos, and I found they're very accurate. So
yeah, he also did you download that little thing?
Yeah, I always have it as like a quick reference guide.
Same here.
By me.
I'm the same way. It's actually really smart. So
yeah.
Okay, one more. Well, there's a few more books, but G.I. Joe 21. This was a book I bought from Superworld as a very high grade near mint. And what happened with this book was it showed up and it was like literally like somebody crumpled it in their hand.
Ooh.
And I don't know if I don't know when it happened, and they were wonderful about it. And they gave me pretty much not a full refund, but almost a full refund immediately. Ted at Superworld's awesome for that kind of thing. But I got my guy Greg Gurr out of Greg and Greg Pressing in Winnipeg to press it, and we got a 9.0 out of it. But honestly, if you would have saw this thing beforehand, oof, it was like a 4.0. It was bad.
Yeah, I've bought quite a bit from Superworld.
They're great.
And yeah, you're right. If you have any issue, they are very good about either returns or that kind of thing. So
yeah, there's no problem, and he's always a very nice guy. When you talk to him,
yeah, we're saying his videos, he always looks like he's living his best life.
It's absolutely true, right? So this next book is a book that I've shown before because I got 3 9/8 on my last batch back, but this was the rest of them. So I've got
oh shit, yeah,
Rider number 1 and 2 of them in 9/6.
I need to get a 9/8 of that book. I just that was one of my favorite movies when I was growing up.
Well, I've got 4 of them.
You should have put one of those in that box you sent me.
Oh yeah, that would have been reasonable for me. Yeah. I'll do that next time.
All right.
Wait, you got a box from him?
Well, I won a prize on Newbie's 2,000 subscriber video, so it was Chris's giveaway. So.
What was that?
It was Terminator 1 and a Mr. Sinister, like a Raw.
Yeah, I have tons of those Mr. Sinisters, man. It's ridiculous.
That you bought off the shelf, right?
The person's
no.
down there, they're asking, do we leave slabs out 24/7? I don't. I rotate mine. Just like I found I was never really looking at them. Like it was like they're always in boxes, and I was like, I want to look at these, so I set up the shelf, and I'll switch them out every few weeks.
Yeah, I rotate mine.
Don't have the sun directly. Like the sun isn't directly at them. I think you're fine. Like the way, like in my office, like my window is over here, but like I have shutters, so like even like sun can't get to it. Like sun never hits those books. So
I only have these books up here whenever I'm doing a video. I take them down as soon as you guys are gone or I'm gone.
It's all for show.
It's all for show, man. It's like, it's because this
I
is
think
all
it's
it is.
something to be aware of, though. I mean, it is something to be concerned about. I mean, if sun is directly hitting it, I mean,
I've seen books where you can tell like they were slabbed and they were much nicer.
Yeah.
And then you're like, there's no way that faded book is like an 8.0.
Oh yeah.
It's like, and I've heard it happens a lot at like shops where like a LCS will have a book on a wall for like 2 years, and because their price is so high or something never sells.
Actually, it's funny you just mentioned that. Years ago in Vancouver, there was a store that was more of a sports card store. I don't remember. It was like on the east end of town. And they used to have direct sunlight through their front window at night. It would just like beam right through like a flashlight into the store. And I remember in the back corner, there was an X-Men 94 that had no color. It was almost a black and white book. And he wanted like $100 for it back when it was worth $100 in pristine mint. But I almost bought it because it was black and white. It looked so cool because it was like but that's what it'll happen. It'll take all the color right out. So
you almost paid $100 for a book that was not worth. Yeah, but you could call it a variant.
You know I'm not straight in the head. You know this, right?
You've mentioned you have a problem multiple times.
Yeah. It never ends. So I got more books, gentlemen.
Well, let's do it.
Oh,
nice.
Spider-Man 122, but why not have two at twice the price?
Both white pages.
Yeah. I picked this up out of a collection before Christmas. It was just like a nice find, but both of them had like this weird like sugary substance on the cover. It was like I don't know. All I did was just brush it off, and there's no staining under it. I thought it was almost like somebody poured like Kool-Aid on it or something without staining. It was weird. But I just brushed it off, got them pressed, and they came back pretty good. So I was pretty happy.
That cover is so much better than 121. It's such a good cover.
Right? And what's 121 go for?
Way more.
It's quite a bit more.
It's expensive. I mean, it's probably like 30% more than 122.
I got a soft spot for yellow covers like that though. I don't mind the yellow.
Yeah, I like it too.
Yeah, but I like 122 better than 21.
You can
take it. You want one? I got some here. So you only like 9/8.
Out of that book, God.
Yeah, what would a 9/8 be? That'd be ridiculous.
A 9/8 of like I've seen them hit some crazy. Like I swear, like a 121 9/8 sold for like $9,000 recently. Like it was a really high number.
That's crazy. Gosh. Okay. This is our last book of the evening, gentlemen. Oh, wait a minute. I think there's more. Oh, there's two more books. Okay. 3
bonus book.
Yeah,
one more book.
Two multiply.
Okay, so Aliens #1.
Oh,
in a 9.4, but I also got a 9.6.
Oh man. Yeah,
so,
that is an expensive book in high grade. Yeah,
the 9.8s are ridiculous. I knew that either of these they wouldn't be 9.8s. I'd love a 9.8 to match one of my Predator #1s, but I was a huge fan of this book when I was a kid, so it's truly one of those books I always wanted to own. But again, I want a 9.8, so I'm probably just going to go after that again. But I found these in a collection as well, and they were $5 each, type cheap, like really cheap. And I didn't expect them to get this high grade, frankly. So I'm quite happy with them.
What year was that book published?
88.
Okay,
it's
I got to tell you,
34 years old or 33 years old. Just.
How do you know that offhand so quickly?
Because I was born in 88.
Oh, that makes me sick to my stomach. Okay,
but yeah, that movie was one of those movies that like my dad let me watch when I was a little kid that he should not have let me watch. That movie scared the crap out of me for I don't know 10 years.
Great.
I didn't like the dark. I didn't like corners. Like I always thought something was going to come out of the friggin' corner. Oh God, but
Just
I
corners.
love those movies,
I was terrified of them. Wait, the Alien 1 or Aliens?
Aliens, the second one, the one where they're coming out of the ceiling and everything, just like, oh God. But I love those movies. I love that series. I like all the new ones that Ridley Scott did. But
Yeah, me too.
But man, it scared me as a kid.
For me, it was Alien. I was 6 years old, and I got to see it because I brought this up before. I had an uncle who was like equally as insane as me, and he took me to it, and my brother, and I threw up. I was sick about it. I couldn't for some reason eat lasagna for like a year because it reminded me of something like the underbelly of the alien. I was like a 6-year-old. You don't take a 6-year-old to Alien.
No.
Yeah,
and I think Alien is a horror movie. I always
genuinely
saw Aliens as an action thriller film.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, Alien is definitely more of a suspense type horror.
Yeah, I like them both equally, but for totally different reasons.
Yeah. They actually managed to exist at the same time in the same world, but they're equally as good.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was the other one. My dad, unaware, took my brother, my younger brother, and I to Event Horizon.
Oh,
we were in that movie, and you could tell he's just like, I made a huge mistake.
oh my God, what are we watching?
It's like, don't. We were with my younger brother's friend too. It's like, don't tell your.
Did it affect you? Were you all screwed up by it?
I mean, no. I can't. That movie came out when I was probably, I don't know, 16 or something. So I think I was okay with that one. But my younger brother, I mean, he's like 11 probably or 12.
Yeah.
What was that, like 96? Was that movie 96?
It's like 96, 97.
Oh, no, so I would have been like 14. So yeah, no, so he was like 12, yeah. Because I mean, because in the I mean, I know it had like some horror in the ads, but we were big like Star Trek fans, that kind of stuff. So it had that like sci-fi element. But then you get into there and like the opening, it's like that woman like cutting her wrists in the bathtub and stuff. And you're just like, Jesus.
Or like they were having like a S&M like Hellraiser orgy too.
Oh yeah. There's
which must have been awesome. Like people were having sex with like blood and barbed wire.
But they trim that down. Like if you go back, like there's a whole backstory.
No, there's like a 40 minutes more of that movie that they lost the footage.
They lost it. Yeah, they lost all the footage. But yeah, they basically could have done the torture porn for another 40 minutes if they wanted to. Apparently.
It's like the guy from Jurassic Park, you know, like
Sam Neill.
You're like, what is happening?
Okay, so I got the final book of the night. There will be more videos and more books, but this is the final book for tonight, and I'll just take over.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's Amazing Spider-Man 31, first appearance of Gwen Stacy.
I got
great.
It's an ugly ass cover. I've always said that, but it's a great book to have.
I agree. So
I think people will start fights with you over that, though. Like some people love that cover, you know.
Really?
Oh yeah, some people like love that cover that I've talked to. Like I had that conversation with a guy that I think I sold a copy to. That he's like, oh, it's like one of the best covers, and it's like, all right, I'm not a huge fan. But
we should do a poll. Anybody who in here thinks that it's an ugly cover? I mean, it is it's an ugly cover. I mean.
I think this is what hurts the book, to be honest with you. I mean, we all know the significance of it, right? Harry Osborn, Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
It's so undervalued though. It's finally getting some credit. Like it's been going up, but
yeah, big time. Yeah. I will say this though. I know this is going to be controversial, but outside of his Doctor Strange work, I think Ditko is a shitty artist. I don't like his work. It's almost childish to me. And I know that's horrible, and everyone's gonna like come at me. But
reviews made on the Vancouver Comic Junkie, do not reflect those comments automatic. You don't like it.
Yeah, no. Ryan told me to say that.
Romita like
Romita's a god.
He's the Spider-Man artist. You know, like that's who I think of as Spider-Man, but. I don't care for like the webbing under the arms and all.
Have you ever seen Jack Kirby draw Spider-Man? Like, there's only a few pieces that he's done, but it's like It's like he drew a toddler in a Spider-Man costume.
He did that Strange Tales annual too, and he looks. I think that's him that did that cover. And my wife's like, "Why is Spider-Man so fat?" And I'm like, "That's because it's
Kirby. Because Kirby just keeps drawing himself over and over again, like just a stubby little guy with potato fingers." I love Kirby.
It's the sausage fingers. It's always the sausage finger.
No, they're not even sausages. They're like potatoes. They're like long potatoes. I love his artwork though, man. Every bit of it. And it's just because of the dynamicism of it. It's anything else is crazy. Like he's like Rob Liefeld a lot of times in his anatomy and stuff.
X-Men 12 and 14 are two of my favorite covers of all time.
Yeah. Both are fantastic.
Yeah, just go through the Thors and the Journey into Mysteries. Just like all the Kirby covers, they're like some of the greatest things ever. The FFs. That guy was outputting so much stuff on a monthly basis. It's impossible for anyone to keep up with that today, but he did it. So. I don't know. Do you guys own any Kirby artwork? Like real artwork?
Comics or real artwork? No. I mean, I have comics by Kirby.
There was a thing called Battle for a Three-Dimensional World, and I own some promotional artwork that he did for it in like 82, 81, which I got for really cheap when I was like, it was in the 90s when I bought it. But it's the only stuff I could ever afford. That was it. So no one would ever know what it is. So I don't know. I'm pretty happy to have it. I own something.
Yeah, no, nice. I don't own any original art from those kinds of guys. Like that stuff is so expensive now, especially like covers. It's crazy. Yeah, no, it's insane, and it's still going up. It just never stops. It seems. No. But then the high grade books are the same way, man. I wasn't there a new auction this week? Wasn't there a?
Ryan would know.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I focus mostly on the heritage ones, and they're every week. But
yeah, how was it this week?
This last week was we were saying it was pretty bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
It was the weakest sales I've seen in a long time in like 3 months. Wow. Now I was saying I think I'm gonna probably make a video about it and I'll talk about it, but I think it may be because the last 2 weeks I saw were dropping, and I think it may be just because it was over the 4th of July holiday week, and a lot of people are traveling, and all it takes is 1 or 2 less people bidding on a book, and you can have significant drops in prices. I mean, I think that's what a lot of people don't realize is that when you start reaching like certain levels of books, there's only so many bidders out there, and that, I know like ETA Nick talked about it with that Giant Size X-Men 1, how 1 week sells for like 76 grand and the next week it sells for 42, and it's if there's only 4 people out there willing to spend 40 plus grand on a book, or 3 people, if one of them's got their book now, they're just like, I'm good, and they aren't bidding on the next one.
That's the biggest thing with those big books, right? Is like, for argument's sake, I mean, I'd say 80% of people are okay with spending like $1,000 to $1,500 on a book, but when you talk about a book that's like almost equivalent to buying a car or a down payment on a house, I mean, the numbers there shrink so much that
or a house.
Yeah, it's got to be right? You always have to have that. It's timing and patience. Really,
he calls it it's like either a pyramid or a triangle. Like the number of people willing to spend decrease significantly as that price goes up.
Exactly.
Actually, there's probably a really nice Venn diagram people could like, the people who have enough money to buy the book versus the people who want the book, and then somewhere in the middle is the people who have enough money and want the book. And
it's
then
like a hot girl crazy.
Good, bad, crazy. Yeah. No, I don't know anything about that. Well, hey guys, let's retire to the back lounge, and we're going to end the video. But I wanted to thank you guys all. And anything coming up on your channels, Ryan?
I've always got usually a couple videos, 2 to 3 videos a week. I usually do a market video, and then I buy stuff all the time. So if you want to see some cool books, I buy stuff from gold, silver, bronze, everything, and you get to see some usually pre-code horror up to modern keys. And I don't know. I have a problem that I just buy a lot of.
I don't know if it's a problem. I think it's really smart.
I think I was telling Jake that like I sold 2 books on Monday, and I had bought I'd spent the money within like an hour of selling them. And so it happens very quickly. So it doesn't sit around for very long.
Well, I want to say, Ryan, you have one of the best channels for comic book related material on the internet, bar none. I'd say you're easily top 5.
Take that,
you're one of
newbie.
my favorites. Oh yeah, no, you're way better than me. Way better.
I thought you said that. I was like, no, there's no way you just said that.
No, I'm just kidding. You know me. You can't take anything serious with me. But newbie, what about you?
Well, I got to keep up with Ryan over there, I got a $1 million CGC unboxing. I got 100 books. There is no book under 100,000 in there. And little spoiler, but I have 3 Detective Comics 27. So it's just going to be crazy. Yeah, no.
Wow, really?
Tuesdays, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, we do our thing on my channel. Chris, you've been on it. Ryan has been on it. We'll be back on it. We kind of collaborated with a show called Keys I'll Still Invest In. So that's going to be happening in about 2 weeks' time. And then finally, to get the Infinity Stone of this group, the Gauntlet, rather, I got to get Jake on sometime. So I'll definitely be talking with Jake and hopefully
whenever.
Well, Jake's like the he's like the Carson. What's Carson's sidekick's name? Ed McMahon. You're the Ed McMahon of comic book YouTube channels. Because you don't have your own channel, do you?
No, I don't have a YouTube channel. I am going to be launching a podcast sometime in the next couple of weeks. Depends on when I actually get around to record it, first one. So calling it Spec Tales. Ryan knows all about it, or at least about as much as anybody knows about it. So, but mostly going to be talking about a lot of the same stuff a lot people are covering on their YouTubes. For me personally, I'm going to be focusing more on part of it's like actual tales. Like I want to hear people's like comic book stories a little bit.
Oh, dude,
like,
I love that. That sounds awesome.
Everybody has kind of like, so me, and if you guys know Guaranteed Comics, so Guaranteed Comics at Guaranteed Comics is his Instagram. But he actually has a guaranteedcomics.com as a website. He sells books that have a guaranteed grade. And if the book ends up grading lower than what the guaranteed grade is, it's a raw book. And if it grades lower, when you send it in, he'll give you a full refund.
Wow.
It's an interesting premise. And anyway, so him and I are pretty good buds. We talk a lot on the phone, and we just kept saying, we got to record this stuff. This is a show. Yeah. And so we're going to be doing a lot of spec and like I said, normal stuff, a lot of stuff I'm already doing on my account currently, where I'm talking about books that I've read. I call them comic book conspiracy theories, just like crazy outlandish shit. Like, I think that Onslaught is going to be the big villain in 10 years or something like that. And why I think that I put that on my account, probably talk about some of that stuff. But then, I really want to hear, if we're going to have guests on, I don't want to just talk. I want to hear a story. Tell me about a book and a story. Maybe it's not a good story. Maybe it's how you missed out on a Fantastic Four #1.
Dude, I got stories. I got
stories too, man.
Ruby will talk about his FF4.
Yeah, I was just going to say. That book haunts me, man.
Exactly. Everybody's got a good story about whether it's one book or a book you used to make to CGC 10 times, and one time I got a 6, and the next time I got a 9.8, and so anyway, that's kind of the premise. Hopefully, you're going to be launching that in the next couple of weeks.
Sweet, man. Sweet. Well, hey, I wanted to thank our guys in the chat, Alan, who just told us that. He has a FF Early Splash page. He's a local guy I know in town here who's been collecting for years. He makes me seem young. I'm just kidding. Well, not really. Then we got Peter Carroll, who says there's a guy in Red Deer who has multiple Kirby real artwork panels. Red Deer, wow, that's
Pete Carroll is watching.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But Red Deer is like this small town in Alberta where I'm from. That's a vague place. We got Alan C. there, Wes Thompson. Also, the fact Edge of the Spider-Verse is so much, but this book doesn't get as much love. Okay. We got Wes and a bunch of guys. But thank you guys in the chat. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all you guys for coming in. And we're going to do this again really soon. I'm taking most of the summer off so we can do it more often. And nice. Love you guys. I'll see you in the lounge.
See you.